What's up, YouTube? Today is a sad day that we're going to be paying some respects to our beloved brother, Hateforge. Now, Hateforge, yesterday I proclaimed it was back for a limited time only, and who knew the limited time would only be like a day or two or less? So fun was detected, and fun did get nerfed. Now, I'm not really too surprised this happened, but I didn't think it needed to get nerfed purely because it was not really crashing the servers, and Tuna did end up trying it. So there is a few people who actually ended up trying the build, and it does look pretty cool, right? And you don't really see any server crashes here, but he did try it out. Yeah, I don't know if he leveled up a character, but he is playing this without Hateforge. He's doing it with the Trader Flask. It's kind of an interesting concept, but as long as you're not really abusing it on purpose to actually crash the game servers, I don't really think that was ever too big of an issue. Now, as I said before, recently someone did post this tech on Reddit, and nicely he actually posted it on Friday. The guy kind of had the foresight to know if he posted it on Monday or Tuesday, no one would actually be able to try it out because fun detected immediate nerf, or bug detected, should I say. So he actually did us a favor. He posted it on Friday when GGG was at home and taking a break, not able to come in and fix it. So we had like 2 or 3 days of fun. So many people were wondering if it would be nerfed. Now, the reason why some people thought it wouldn't be nerfed was because it's pretty much abusing the same exact mechanic where people were using negative charges for maximum discharge, or people were using negative AoE to do blasphemy temp chains on themselves, and people are also using negative gain physics extra fire on rings to get pretty much more physical damage. Now, at this point in the league, we have actually reached an all-time low. So one of the best games of all time, Elden Ring, actually came out in Arch Nemesis League along with Lost Ark. And we are actually at 18.5% retention compared to 18.6%. Now this is kind of interesting to note because there has been a pretty big game that came out, which is Wrath of the Lich King. A lot of PoE players are actually huge WoW fans. So let me know down in the comments below if you are actually a huge WoW fan and are actually looking forward to the next expansion, because I do think that we have an upcoming disaster on our hands in terms of the next PoE League's launch date. So just let me know. I'll make another video about that. But basically, PoE is going to be going head-to-head with WoW next league, so I'm actually not too thrilled about that. So what is actually the nerf that happened? Well, it's a very, very simple nerf. So pretty much GGG posted that they fixed a bug where lowering the duration of Vaal Lightning Strike to or below 0 would cause the orb created to remain indefinitely. And you will need to restart your client to patch the client-side fix of this hotfix. So I actually haven't restarted my client yet, but I actually don't have to build anymore because the character is now part of my new 50 Chaos series for Ubers. Now, as you can see, here's the RIP Hateforge. Now, this issue was only happening with Vaal Lightning Strike for some reason. I don't really know why. So if we actually look at the comments on the forums, it says, "Thanks, Kobe, it's fixed." Hey, that's not my fault. I mean, I just let people have a little bit of fun. It's not my fault the fun got removed. The nice, point, oof, soy ass oof. That's kind of hilarious. I woke up in the morning, saw a video of Kobe. I'll find something interesting with Hateforge. Bought them some time ago for a unique collection. I could try it out in the league, but nope, already nerfed. So there's always going to be some people who are just super mad about how GGG are trying to nerf the fun. And then there's the other side that are understanding and say, oh yeah, this is a clear bug. It shouldn't exist. There's too many ramifications for people who are abusive about this sort of stuff. So this guy's of that boat, abusing bugs equals fun. Okay, do negative max discharge, fix when. So this guy understands that negative max discharge should probably be fixed too. And then this person, Sir Gog, says, do you really want a rollback inducing exploit left in the game? It would be a disgrace if GGG didn't emergency fix this. It would single-handedly kill the league once cheaters started intentionally crashing instances to roll back bad RNG craft results. Now, this is kind of a disingenuous statement. The league is already dead for a lot of people. Let's be real. Trading in the league is already a ghost town. Now, once cheaters started intensely crashing, this is just never going to happen. No cheaters are ever going to intensely crash the instances to roll back bad RNG craft results because they would instantly get banned. It is so easy for GGG to detect this. Now, you don't want to leave it in the game because it's possible, but saying that it would kill the league because cheaters would do this is just a crazy, crazy statement. It's possible it could happen, but no one in their right mind would intentionally crash the servers because they would immediately get banned as soon as it would be found out. Now, if GGG were 96% done on a patch to fix the loot goblin rubbish, it would still absolutely be right to take developers off that and get this emergency patch out. Then get the customer service people checking for evidence of cheaters who abuse this. We're crafting cheats, not just a combat edge, and permabanning them. Then once the trash was gone, only then get back to the fix for the loot goblin rubbish. It is a simple prioritization. Put out fires first, and a crash/rollback causing cheat is a fire. So I don't really know what this means besides the fact that, are they actually coming out with a patch to fix the loot goblin? I don't really know, but I mean, this is a simple fix for them to do. It seems like they literally went to the office and they were immediately able to fix it. Kobe claims it didn't crash instances, so I don't see any problem with crafting here. So now the problem remains, do you actually think it crashes the instance? Now, we'll address that actually in a little bit. I forgot. So Hateforge, who is actually going to use Hateforge now? Well, Hateforge is a pretty useless item. And I know a lot of people were like, wow, Hateforge is back, baby. Well, Hateforge is not really back. A lot of people didn't really understand what it meant for Hateforge to come back because people don't understand how Hateforge actually functions. And Hateforge, unfortunately, has no good builds currently because of the Soul Ripper Flask. So as I showed you earlier, is it Soul Ripper or Soul Catcher? I think it might be Soul Catcher. So Soul Catcher, whoa, PoE is not the most popular result on Google? What the heck? Alright, that's kind of weird. PoE is the best game ever. So Soul Catcher, right? The Soul Catcher has reduced soul gain prevention duration, and it got nerfed from 40%. So before you could scale it. So if you actually had this and you could scale the flask effect, you could actually have Vaal Lightning Strike last like 5 or 6 seconds instead of infinite duration. So I do think it is a huge oversight for when they buffed the 100 or so uniques to not buff Soul Catcher again and allow Hateforge to actually have a decent build as a chase build. Now, the only build right now that actually uses Hateforge in any capacity, and I have tried to think about builds for Hateforge because I kind of love the item. It's kind of a cool item. Everyone likes it. It's a fun chase item. The only build, now get this, is a build where you're war crying to get your rage, and then you use Vaal Ground Slam. So you have to war cry twice, use Vaal Ground Slam twice, walk around a little bit, wait for your cooldown for your cries to come up again, war cry again to get maximum rage. And this is used with Replay Banner. So not exactly a very aspirational build, as you may call it. So not very good, and there's just not that many people playing it. And in terms of how many people were actually abusing this bug, well, no one. Even this person who was doing Vaal Lightning Strike was not even abusing the duration on it. So I don't really know where people were getting that. A lot of people were actually doing it. Now, next up, you might be wondering why fix it, and we have gone over this a little bit. And it's mainly because it could be bad for server stability if people intentionally try to crash the server. And like I said before, there is no evidence that someone actually crashed any servers with this while using it. And it's mainly because the game kind of crashes before the server actually ever crashes. So if you actually put down all of the Vaal Lightning Strikes on the ground, your game will actually crash unless maybe you have a supercomputer with like 89 cores or something like that. But in order to disprove this, you could say that when you actually put down all the Vaal Lightning Strikes in your hideout, the game actually crashes not because of the calculations it's doing on the server side, but because there's just so many graphical effects that's being rendered. Now, Sir Gog actually outlined a way to crash the servers with spamming Vaal Lightning Strike and abusing it to rollback craft. So he didn't want to reveal this in the past, but he is now because this has been fixed. So he's pretty much saying War Loop causes issues on the PCs of players in the instance, but it doesn't cause the servers themselves to have to do unbelievable numbers of calculations. And they say closest comparison to someone actually abusing this, which is different to just using it, is probably pre-nerf Torment Spirit vacuum farming before the can only touch 50 monsters change. But that was causing crashes accidentally, not intentionally. Now that the thing is fixed, I can outline 4 steps to abuse this tier 1 scoured map required. So you create a VLS character that can't kill monsters, Southbound gloves. You replace Southbound with Hateforge for a short period, clear a couple of screens of monsters, set up 100 or more wraparound duration VLS in one location, go back to Southbound, Vaal Cyclone to get 200 plus monsters together, attempt your RNG craft. If it succeeds, leave the map and don't return. If it fails, lure all those monsters into the VLS kill zone. Watch them not die, but get hit hundreds of times per second each. Watch the servers crash, profit from rollback. So this guy believes that you could potentially be doing this. And obviously, you could take this even further. You can add a chance to poison, stack some poison duration, and the servers will be doing infinitely more calculations. However, this is not really like something that people are actually going to do. If you do this, obviously, you're going to get banned immediately. And this is not really a thing that's limited to Vaal Lightning Strike in this instance. Vaal Lightning Strike just makes it easier. Anyone could potentially do this if they gather up a bunch of mobs, make the server do a bunch of calculations with like poison duration or something like that, or bleed or something. And that's just pretty much abusing the game and trying to cause a server crash, right? There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I guess Hateforge allows it to be more easy to do it. Now, this person brings up a good point, except the fact that it will easily crash your client before it will crash the server. VLS is barely calculated as anything on the server side. You can see the servers are running perfectly fine while Mr. Streamer is running at 7 FPS. It is graphical lag, not computational. And that's just something that this person brought up. Because in the game, you'll see that there is a server MS or whatever. Oh yeah, server right here. And this thing actually never really spikes up that much. So it's just an interesting little distinction. Now, in the end, I do think that this probably should have been fixed. I mean, it did create kind of a bad look that they were so fast to fix it. But it's also a good thing for a lot of people. No one really wants a so-called bug or whatever that exists, even if it's fun. Because there are kind of like some use cases for it that's kind of like bad in the sense that you could pretty much use the trader and then use a Soul Ripper Flask or Soul Catcher. You can use Soul Ripper and Soul Catcher. You generate souls. And then you put down the Vaal Lightning Strike and you go AFK and kill any Uber boss in the game. So it probably should have been fixed. But you can see here, I like to thank those brave souls that bought both of my negative Vaal effect amulets. Right here, it says Vaal Land Client. Well, this person actually mistyped VLS and it's VLC. Buying Hateforge 90 Divines. This person was like, was anyone actually surprised? And no one was really surprised. This person, again, yeah, if GGG left this up, that would be pitchfork time. So there's like two different camps of it. And then there's always the people like, I'm surprised it took as long as it did. Could rollback be used to fix bad crafting results? And yeah, and then this person says it didn't crash the server and then there's some people that says it could crash the server. And then there's these posts down here that's like all removed because I'm assuming that they all said fun detected or something like that. Saw this coming. This one is fun detected, emergency fix incoming. This one, if it benefits the player, it'll be modified immediately. So these are the salty players out there. GGG bit yet again by the absolute disdain for hard caps. And I love the 1.5 month hotfixes after the league has been abandoned. Players keeping GGG on their toes. So here, what happened about their stance on abusing bugs? And it's just, you can see that the community is incredibly split. There's people that are definitely feeling like, oh, this is another case of GGG detecting more fun and nerfing it. And then there's other people who are like, oh, GGG's doing a good job and trying to enforce the game and making sure that there's no actual stuff that's too game breaking. But as I said before, no one was actually crashing the servers or instances. And if you were doing it, you were actually doing it maliciously. You were trying to do something to abuse it. Because I do think that your game would actually crash unless you're playing on a supercomputer before you would ever even come close to crashing the server because of the computations that was required. And I feel like that's just a crazy statement. But as I said before, this more illustrates the lack of any chase builds that come out, because I do feel like a lot of people, when they ask me why don't they want to play the league anymore, they always tell me that I don't really know what build I want to play. I've played it all before. And I do think that this could have allowed maybe someone to say, oh, I want to farm for Hateforge, I want to farm for this item, but in the end, that's just not the case. So you probably have to find some other chase build. Maybe you can go play some more Magic Find and find some more Loot Goblins. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more mirrors, exalted orbs, divines, and me. And see you next time. Bye!